Rolling news throughout the day presented by Joseph Kizza at Joe Kizza. Refresh page for updates. _. 12:24 p.m. Celebrating Chrisitine Alalo's life at All Saints Cathedral, Nakasero. Alalo was the acting police commissioner of the African mission in Somalia, AMISOM, at the time of her death. Uganda police celebrating the life of the late Alalo Christine at All Saints Cathedral, Nakasero. Pic.twitter.com/W66B89BJOR. Uganda Police Force at Police UG, March 26, 2019. His South African counterpart Cyril Ramaphosa has tweeted this today. President Cyril Ramaphosa: "We are here to hear from the Sahara. We are a democratic republic in Polisario. What we can do to aid them in advancing their cause. Also to promote the implementation of innovative projects with the aim of facilitating the realization of new or improved products, processes or services designed to raise the economic efficiency among other reasons." According to Ivwana Opondo, Cabinet noted the performance of the Youth Livelihood Program for the financial years 2013-14 and 2017-2018 and also approved the performance improvement measures to be incorporated in the Youth Livelihood Program. Some of these measures include to reduce the minimum group size to 5 youth from 10 purposely to enhance group cohesion. Another measure is to allow youth who may not be from the same village, but have projects of common interest, to form groups and access funding, if they live within the same parish ward. Ivwana Opondo noted the performance of the Youth Livelihood Program for the FY 2013-14 and FY 2017-2018 and also approved the performance improvement measures to be incorporated in the Youth Livelihood Program, and these include, among others, the objectives of the bill include to provide a legal framework for enforcing climate change adaptation actions as well as to enable Uganda to pursue its voluntary mitigation targets of reducing national greenhouse gas emissions. It is also understood that Cabinet has approved the proposal by the Works and Transport Ministry for government to take over the ownership of the East African Civil Aviation Academy (EACA) in Sorota. Also, Cabinet has approved transformation the Presidential Initiative on Banana Industrial Development Project (PIBID) into the Banana Industrial Research and Development Center (BIRDC) for industrial application as a successor body with a legal mandate. Cabinet also approved guidelines for the negotiation of loan and grants by government which will provide for secure financing on affordable terms, ensure that loans and grants are negotiated and closed with affordable rates and better terms and conditions, says Ivwana Opondo, who is also the executive director of Uganda Media Center. Pic.twitter.com/3mnews9msn, Uganda Media Center, at Uganda Media Cent, March 26, 2019. Apparently, it's when you innocently save the number of the woman that supplies honey is, honey. And while your phone is with your wife, that honey supplier sends you a text message reading thus: "Tomorrow's taste will be sweeter than what you got last week, ouch. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned." Ura FC will play host to Express FC at Mandela National Stadium, Nambo Ole at 4 p.m. 30 minutes later, Toro United FC will entertain Bull FC at Buinga Stadium in Fort Portal. They are seeking police's explanation as to why they don't intervene when they are reportedly beaten by people, reports Godfrey Sesempia. The protesters drove off Entebbe RDC Haji Noranjuki Mbabali when he tried to intervene. Police was deployed to calm the situation. Tear gas was reportedly fired to disperse the drivers. New Vision's Maria Wamala is reporting that experts are exploring innovations of how Uganda can generate domestic funding through infrastructure to finance HIV and gender-based violence. The Kenyan High Commissioner to Uganda, Kiema Kalonzo, is already in Kenya to prepare for what has been described as a historic Mombasa visit. His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, will be in the coastal city of Mombasa for a two-day state visit to Kenya, starting Wednesday, March 27, 2019, Kenyan State House officials said. Ikelo Oryem, Uganda's State Minister for International Affairs, said Museveni was officially invited by his Kenyan counterpart Uhuru Kenyatta. It is a state visit and the program is already set. During the visit, President Museveni and President Kenyatta will also hold a private meeting on a number of issues between the two sister countries and other related matters. According to a tentative program, Museveni will land at Moi International Airport in Mombasa, hold bilateral talks with Kenyatta at State House, Mombasa, and then the two leaders will jointly address the press on a wide range of issues. Museveni will also attend a business forum at the White Sands Hotel. On Thursday, he will visit the Kenya Ports Authority and tour the Mombasa Standard Gauge Railway Terminal facility. Kenya completed the first phase of the Standard Gauge Railway (SGR) from Mombasa to Nairobi, and works on the second phase from Mombasa to Naivasha are underway. Bilateral talks between Uganda and Kenya on the possibility of extending the SGR spur up to Malaba are underway. Officials from the Ugandan side argue that once the Kenyan SGR reaches Malaba, the construction of the Uganda first SGR phase from Malaba to Kampala will commence. In August last year, Museveni visited Kenya and held bilateral talks with Kenyatta on a number of issues, including the possibility of Uganda picking cargo from the new inland container depot in Embakasi via the SGR. That he is the only man who can hang clothes on a mobile SIM card line. Then he has talked about being able to flip the pages of this famous book called Facebook. I am not sure how exactly he put it, but it is somewhere in that line, plus many more extraordinary stuff from the muscle man. Yes, that's Gololo Moses. The man who made a name from adding a comical spin to his kickboxing career, took part in the kickoff of the Parliament Health Week 2019 as aerobics facilitator alongside veteran musician Ragadi Daniel Kazibwe, Tuesday morning. Parliament staff and members of the public took off time to pose with the two celebrated Ugandans. The Health Week runs under the theme, Wellness is My Choice, picked at twitter.com/HPFPopweek2K, Parliament of Uganda, at Parliament. UG, March 26, 2019. Vision Group Internship Program. Vision Group invites applications for internship for the period June to August 2019. Students interested in the training opportunity should submit the documents as seen on the advert. Deadline, April 5, 2019. Picked at twitter.com/Oi9Tuklu. New Vision Uganda, at New Vision Wire, March 26, 2019. Moroccan Foreign Minister Nasser Bourita addresses the media following a two-day round of talks on ending the Western Sahara conflict in Geneva, Morocco on Monday gained the support of 36 African countries for UN-backed talks on ending the decades-old conflict in Western Sahara, as a rival conference on the territory got underway in South Africa. Delegates at the ministerial meeting in Marrakesh backed a declaration which affirmed the exclusivity of the United Nations as the framework for seeking a mutually acceptable, realistic, pragmatic and lasting political solution to the Sahara issue, a swath of desert on Africa's Atlantic coast. Western Sahara is disputed by Morocco and the independence fighters of the Polisario Front. The peace process must be protected from any interference, intervention, or non-consensual actions likely to compete with UN efforts, the Marrakesh statement said. The conference came as the Southern African Development Community held a conference in Pretoria, with a stated aim of voicing the region's support for decolonization and self-determination for Western Sahara. That forum backs the Polisario's call for a referendum on self-determination. Leader of the Sahrawi delegation Infante Polisario Catriato addressed the media after the talks. Morocco maintains that Western Sahara, a former Spanish colony under its control, is an integral part of the kingdom. A second round of United Nations talks ended Friday near Geneva, with UN envoy Horst Kohler admitting many positions are still fundamentally diverging. Moroccan Foreign Minister Nasser Bourita said his country would discuss autonomy, but under no circumstances would it support a referendum in which independence was on the table. Rabat's top diplomat said the sides agreed to meet again before the summer. The Polisario fought a war with Morocco from 1975 to 1991, when a ceasefire deal was agreed and a UN peace mission was deployed to monitor the truce. The 38th Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government of SADC approved the convening of a conference on solidarity with the Sahrawi people. South Africa and Namibia are co-hosting the meeting. During the conference, the SADC heads of state and government will express the region's support for decolonization and self-determination for Western Sahara on the basis of the values and principles that have guided the quest for independence throughout Africa. SADC's collaboration on and with Western Sahara has been informed by the region's own decolonization experiences and the quest for liberation and self-determination. Museveni was received at Lanseria International Airport by Magabo Mhal, South Africa's Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, and Uganda's High Commissioner to South Africa, Barbara Nakasero. Cyclone that pummeled southern Africa were to begin receiving emergency medicine, food and tents on Tuesday as floodwaters receded, while the Red Cross warned of a ticking bomb, a disease in the storm-struck region. Cyclone Idai smashed into Mozambique's coast, unleashing hurricane-force wind and rain that flooded swaths of the poor country before battering eastern Zimbabwe, killing more than 700 people across the two nations. The head of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, IFRC, El-Hajj Sai said Monday, "We are sitting on a ticking bomb," as he called for renewed efforts to address the worsening health situation. Malian leader vows security as massacre toll hits 160 million. President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta looking at destroyed houses following an attack on the village of Ogasogu, near Mopti. Malian President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta vowed Monday to beef up security as he visited a village where more than 160 people were killed by suspected militiamen from rival ethnic groups. "We need security here. This is your mission," Keïta said, giving a public order to Military Chief General Abdoulaye Coulibaly, who was abruptly appointed on Sunday after the massacre. "Justice will be done," he vowed. The deadly raid took place on Saturday in the village of Ogasogu, home to the Fulani herding community, near the town of Mopti in central Mali. Sudan journalists protest over jailed editor, witnesses Osman Morgani, chief editor of the Altair Daily, lying on his bed on July 24, 2014 after he was severely beaten by armed men. Dozens of Sudanese journalists Monday protested in downtown Khartoum demanding the release of a prominent editor detained for criticizing a state of emergency imposed by President Omar al-Bashir, witnesses said. Osman Morgani, editor-in-chief of independent daily Altair, was taken away by security agents from his office on the night of February 22 after making televised comments on Bashir's decision to impose emergency rule nationwide. Bashir declared the state of emergency after an initial crackdown failed to quell widespread protests against his administration that erupted in December. Comoros police tear gas opposition ahead of results. An officer stands in front of campaign posters of incumbent Comoros president and presidential candidate Azali Assoumani. Police fired tear gas and rubber bullets Monday to disperse more than 100 opposition supporters as Comoros awaited the results of elections. President Azali Assoumani is tipped to win, AFP correspondent saw. 2 people were injured, a protester and a plainclothes policeman, when the group, including several candidates, began marching towards the capital Moroni's Independence Square to protest alleged electoral fraud. The country is awaiting the results of Sunday's presidential elections, which the opposition claims was riddled with flaws. Ethiopian Airlines believes in Boeing despite crash. CEO Ethiopian Airlines believes in Boeing despite the crash of its 737 MAX 8 plane that killed all 157 people on board and led to the model's grounding, the carrier's CEO said on Monday. "Let me be clear, Ethiopian Airlines believes in Boeing. They have been a partner of ours for many years," Tewolde Gebre-Mariam wrote in a statement. "We will work with investigators in Ethiopia, in the US and elsewhere to figure out what went wrong," he added. Flight ET-302 crashed on March 10, just minutes into its flight to Nairobi. Ebola epidemic in Dr. Congo now exceeds 1,000 cases. The number of cases in a nearly 8-month-old epidemic of Ebola in eastern DR Congo now exceeds 1,000, almost 2/3 of whom have died, the health ministry said late Sunday. The accumulated number of cases is 1,009, of which 629 cases were fatal, it said. The outbreak was first recorded in North Kivu province on August 1, and then spread to neighboring Ituri province. Its toll is the second deadliest in the history of Ebola, after an epidemic in Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone in 2014 to 6 that claimed 11,308 lives, according to the website of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Ebola virus disease was first discovered in 1974 in a village near the Democratic Republic of Congo's Ebola River, which gave the disease its name. Five more days to go to call March done and dusted. April just around the corner. Just remember not to get fooled into thinking the year is just about to get done. Or it is. Anyways, hoping you are fine today.